This technique is going to be creating a collage in the background of your image. You could really use any materials for that, but if you have maybe some newspapers laying around, um, a magazine that you can cut up, you could use those. You could also use other materials, so construction paper. I'll use tinfoil in this example as well, cardboard. So anything that you have laying around that you can use in the background would definitely work for this collage. But I'm going to go ahead and play this video so you can see the process, and I'll just kind of talk through what you can do for your background here. So I'm finding a page that I feel like has a good amount of text on it, so that it's not just the background of the magazine. So I'm looking for some areas with text that I can start to overlap. And I'm going to keep the shapes consistent of what I'm cutting out to collage. So I'm just collaging triangles. But you could maybe do some circles to throw in or squares. So maybe pick a couple of shapes that you can use to collage with. Otherwise, I would just do one to keep it consistent. So I'm working on cutting out some different sizes. So definitely try out different sizes for the shapes that you're collaging. And I'll just go through and think about the placement too. So for mine, I'm not keeping them too overlapped, so I still want to be able to see the background through this, but I'm somewhat spacing them out and just arranging them so they go around the cup here and form a frame around my object. The other thing before you get started with your collage is the background itself. I would consider just using watercolor or just quickly filling it with a solid color so that you're able to have that background come through your collage if there's any gaps. You could also have, if you did another technique or were looking for another technique to do before this, you could do that vignette. So that's what I have here, is just the vignette in the background where it's darker on the outside and then fades to that lighter value, which just makes for a more interesting background. So I'm going to add a few more pieces here of the magazine, and then I'm going to move on and grab a different material to use for the triangles. So this is something that I put together previously. But if you had another piece of paper, maybe you could just add some color to it to add a little bit more interest to that background, to your collage that I'm cutting off of. So maybe think about some sort of design that you could just do on a blank piece of paper and then cut pieces of that out that you're able to then collage and put together for the background around your object that you drew. So again, I'm spacing these out, I'm making them different sizes. I'm angling them so that they fit around the outside of the object. You could consider maybe overlapping some more or overlapping your object a little bit. And then I'm grabbing one more material. So try to collage maybe two to three materials here. So for this, I'm using tinfoil, but again, you could do construction paper. You could maybe go in with some cardboard, but I'm just rotating and filling the page more, spacing these out so that the eye, when you look at it, is able to jump from piece to piece in that background. All right, so that is what I had for the collage. Be creative, come up with some different materials that would be interesting to collage together for your backgrounds.